Hello, it's Jack and welcome back to the garage. I believe this is now episode 6, series 1. And where are we? Well, as you may remember from the last video, we bought this wonderful Mercedes Pagoda. Yes, found it in a barn. I think we paid about 21,000 for it. I think it was roundabout, give or take a few hundred. And the idea was basically to show you guys how we can do a restoration with the tools that we have available in the workshop as of now, as in the skill level I'm at, which is I think 11, I think it is. And what can we do? Because there's certain things that we're not able to do when we do a restoration or we do a build on a car where we need to, fix stuff up and all that good stuff. So I set myself the bar to say that I'm going to replace everything up to 40% or better. So if there was a part at 40% or 41%, I would leave it in. If it was below 40%, I would replace it, not fix it. I would buy a new part and put a brand new 100% part in. Now you might ask, why did I do that? Well, it was to prove a point. Basically, I'm not able to fix everything right now. As we've mentioned before, I can't fix body panels. There's a lot of stuff I'm not able to fix, and if I do fix it, my fix rate is pretty poor, so it gets destroyed. So generally I'd end up buying a new part anyway. Regardless of that, what I did fix, I fixed one item, and that was the gearbox. And the reason I fixed the gearbox, it was in pretty poor shape, but a new gearbox for this vehicle is $2,300, which is a little bit steep. So I took my chances, and I thought if I destroy it, I'm going to have to buy a new one anyway, and that's going to bring down my profit and also put up my build price. So I fixed it successfully. So let me give you a quick rundown of what's actually been done. So first of all, let's just take this hood off. As you can see, it's looking pretty clean in the engine now. It's not looking bad at all. There is some parts that are still a little, beaten up, but they're above 40%, so therefore I'm keeping them. For example, the exhaust manifold is at 42%, so it just passes through. So we did all that, which is great stuff. We also did, when I say we, sounds like there's more than one person in the garage. Me, Jack, I did it. Some bits I had to replace completely. Obviously, they were missing. The exhaust, for example, was completely. No, it wasn't completely missing. Sorry, but it was in really, really poor shape. All the running gear, brakes replaced, or left in if they were above 40%. So it's looking quite nice. And I know you're all waiting for the big reveal. How much money did we make? Well, we didn't make as much as possible, and some of you can already work out, I'm sure. Having 12,000, I'm going to do it to the nearest thousands, upwards and downwards. I'm not going to, do the to the actual dollar. There's 12,000 left in the bank. When we went to the barn, we had approximately 48,000 in the bank. Which, if you do the maths, I've spent nearly 36,000 on restoring this vehicle. And it's not in tip-top condition. I've not replaced everything, but that was also the point. However, there's a couple of points worth mentioning here, and it's quite important when you're taking on a restoration, when you're not at a very high skill level, and also when you don't have oodles of cash in the bank. Until you get to maybe 500,000-600,000 in the bank, you can't really go balls out, as they say, to fix the car, because you just don't have enough money. Of course, I could fix this up to, a higher percentage, but there's certain things I'm not able to do. Let me give you an example here. You see here, this has got rust. This is on the body itself. You can't remove this. This is part of the frame, okay? This is part of the car frame, and it's not in great shape. So normally what you would do is you would get the welding kit and you would use the welding kit to repair the body itself. We're not talking about the body parts, not talking about the doors that you can take off. We're talking about the actual physical frame of the vehicle that you can't, dismantle. So normally you would get the welder out and it costs you $1,000 and it basically fixes all of the parts to new. That's one thing, okay? That would definitely increase the value of the vehicle, but I'm just not able to do that. Simple as that. I don't have the welding kit. I don't think you get the welding kit until, I don't know, somewhere up here somewhere. It's quite far up. Welding. Oh, that's just the repair rate. Where is the welding? I don't remember. Okay, I'm not going to waste time finding it. Okay, but you get the welding kit. I think it's on the next upgrade. I think it might be this one. I could be wrong. Maybe it's this one. Okay, doesn't matter. I haven't got it. That's the main point. Okay. So obviously I have to leave the framework in the current condition. I'm also not able to clean the interior. As you move up, getting a garage upgrades, you get the interior cleaning kit. $100, and it restores, doesn't fix the seats or anything, but when you take the seats out and the steering wheel and everything else that can come out, the condition of the interior, I'm assuming like the dashboard and the carpets, are at a certain percentage. Luckily this car's in pretty good condition in terms of the interior, but for $100 you'd also get the interior up to 100%. And again, when I say interior, I don't mean the seats and steering wheel, the replaceable stuff. I'm talking about the non-replaceable stuff. Again, you're not able to do that. So it's going to reduce the restoration level for the vehicle. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, because I just can't do it. In addition to that, I can't repair body panels. So if we just take a quick look at that door, which I've just taken off, you can see that door is sitting at 54%, which is obviously going to bring the overall condition of the car down. Now, when I'm able to repair it, great, repair the body panel up to 100%. Generally, body panels you can fix pretty much. What am I talking about? It is 100%. I'm sorry, that was the new door that I put on. Let me take off this door here. I had to put a new door on because the other door was missing. Okay, just confusing everybody. So it's 85%. It's pretty close to being brand new anyway. So it's probably a bad example, but you see where I'm going with this. Anyway, let me just shove this back on, because at some point we're going to do the reveal of how much cash we've actually made on this bad boy. Doors in, mirrors on. That was brand new as well. I had to get a couple of parts to this that were missing. This door was missing, so I had to get a new door. So that's brand new. I had to get a new window, I believe. Yep, because the door was not there. Obviously, the hood was the same. The hood was already existing, and I had to get a new side mirror, and I also had to get a new left headlight. I think that was about all I had to buy. I took the hit on also getting 2 new rims, because 2 of the rims were, I think it was 2 new rims, and I also took the hit getting 4 brand new tyres, which looking back now was a mistake, because I actually didn't make any more money by putting brand new tyres and rims on. I think I was actually in debt. When I say in debt, I think I lost about $150–200 on doing that, so I should have just left them as is. Anyway, without further ado, let's take a look at the condition and the price of this vehicle as it stands right now. 44,000, so just shy of 44,500, but we do get 1,666 as a restoration bonus. If you look at the overall condition of the car, first of all, it's extremely high mileage on this vehicle, but generally, see the frame is letting us down because we can't repair it. But everything else is pretty good. I mean, our average there is pretty high. I haven't worked out the average, but it's probably going to be about 80%ish. And you can see here we're let down also by some of these parts. I left at 40% because that was pretty much what the challenge I set for myself, that I'm going to keep everything at 40% or better. So there's still a lot of repairs that could be increased here by buying new parts or repairing the parts if I was to take that route. But generally, it's in pretty good condition. So overall profit, it's about 8,500. Yep, 8,500, which is not bad. Excuse me, which is not too bad. Didn't have to spend too much coin on it. Didn't take too long to repair all the bits and pieces. But again, it's not a huge amount of money, but put it into context, right? Put this into context. If you were to do the jobs, and this is pure profit, don't forget. This is not where the money you get after the job and you have to deduct the parts that you've already put on the car, for a customer car. So we're talking 8,500 in profit. So we'd probably have to do maybe 2, 3, maybe even 4 jobs to actually get 8,500 in full profit. Also have in mind, this is not really a high-end car in the game anyway. The Mercedes Benz Pagoda doesn't really go for huge amounts of money, especially not with this mileage on. I mean, maybe the max we could get for this vehicle as a guesstimate would be maybe about 60 grand if it was all in perfect condition, maybe 65 grand. So we're still short, but like I said, we can't have everything fixed to perfection on this vehicle because we just don't have the tools to do it. So not bad. I'm going to sell it. We don't need to keep it. But I'm not going to sell it just right now, because there's one other thing I'd like to go through. The repair bench. All of this good stuff here is what is left, basically, off the car. I did sell some other bits and pieces from the previous vehicles we did. So once we've sold all of this, or repaired as much as we can and sold it, goodness me, it's loud in the workshop. Let me come off that screen. Once I've repaired what I can and sell it on, we're going to make a little bit more profit as well. So, you know, it's maybe we're going to touch it, maybe 9,500, 9,000, 9,500 profit on this vehicle. Also, we can't paint it either. But as I've said before, painting it doesn't actually give you any extra cash in the bank. So if we say goodbye to this one, let's get it sold. Yes, we do. So 46 grand in total. So when I said we make 8,000, 8.5, we actually make a little bit more. We actually make nearer to 10 with the restoration bonus. Oh, let me just go back to that restoration bonus. This restoration bonus is pretty low. Because we haven't fixed everything, obviously. It's not in tip-top condition. It's what you called it's like a pro rata. That restoration bonus will increase the more parts you replaced as to new or 100%. So the maximum restoration bonus you could get for this car, maybe it's about 9,000-10,000, I think, which is small money when you consider that if you were to buy, let's say for example, a Porsche 964. Beautiful car. It's going to set you back a lot of money to get it in the first place, maybe 90 or 100 grand to buy it, even if it's a barn find. But it's going to be worth, in some cases, depending again on the mileage, maybe up to 300,000. That's a lot of cash. So they're the ones to look out for as you get better in the game. Is the high value vehicles that actually give you a great return once they've been restored. Anyway, I hope this gives you a pretty good idea of the kind of things money you can at least make, you know, at this low end of the game. So 58 grand. You know, we had 47, well, around about 48 grand in the bank initially before we bought the Mercedes, and now we've got 58. So we've made around about 10 grand profit, which is not too shabby, is it? Not too shabby at all. So what I'd like to do now, just before we sign off, it's going to be a short video today. What I'd like to do is just visit another one of these. We don't have any more barns. Ah, but we do have some. We have some barns in here, if I remember rightly. Barn. Let's go visit one more barn, see if we can find. No, because now don't forget we've got 58 grand in the bank. So we've got a little bit more money to play with, which is always nice. But I'm sure we won't strike it lucky. I think we were pretty lucky with the overall price on that Mercedes, to be fair. We only paid 21 for it, and even when we got it back to the garage it was worth 23, so you know, we were already in front. What the? Is that the only car in here? It's a mod. I thought I'd removed all the mods. Do I really want a police car? That could be kind of fun, I guess. It's pretty cheap too, 14 grand. But I've been bitten on these mods before, where they don't always go back together as they should. What is it as well? It's a dual overhead cam AXK. 15 grand nearly. Let's just have a quick shufty. Let's have a quick shufty. You might think these exhausts are missing here. Can you see here? There's nothing missing. It's because it's a modded car. They can't quite get these two to match up correctly. There's not enough standard parts on them to make it work. So it's a little bit of a mess. What I do hope it doesn't have is one of those stupid engine cover modifications, and I think they're just terrible. No, this looks like a proper engine. Okay. And you know what? Dare I say it? It looks complete. What's the mileage on it? 129,000. That's pretty low. Global parts condition 34%. So we could go with another fix this one up to 40%. I guess that's pretty low though. That engine's gonna be seriously foobarred. But again, it's cheap enough. I think it's cheap enough. I think it's cheap enough. 15 grand. I don't know. You know what? I've never worked on one of these on a Crown Vic ever. I have no idea what the going price is for these or anything. So let's take a punt. It's 15 grand. Go on. We'll buy it. We will buy it. Shove it in the garage. I don't want... Oh, I do need to check for crates, or cases, whatever they call them, just to see if there's any additional cases in here. To get some more barn finds. Oh, there's one. Yes, thank you, we're going to take that one. Da, 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 da. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Like I said before, if you missed the previous videos on these barn finds, you go through all the everything that you can basically get your hands on. I'm not buying parts to fix right now. Like I said before, my skill set is too crap. But what I'm looking for is the junk to see if I can find any more crates, because there's a good chance when you get a crate, it's only $200, when you get a crate there could be another barn location in there, which is of course worth it. I think I've gone through them all now, at least more than once, just walking around chatting away. I don't know. Anyway, let's get out of here and let's get back to the garage. 14,000 we paid for it, didn't we? Approximately 14,000. Let's call it 15. I'm not going to argue over a few hundred. Be interesting to see how much this is worth. It's funny, it's got those lights still flashing. What's all that about? I actually do like these Crown Vics. You know, in all the American movies that you see, they're just workhorses. These are, aren't they? Or at least that's how they are portrayed in the movies. But let's see what it's worth. 19 grand. Oh, oh, oh. Result already, eh? Result already. Just before we sign off, is it a runner? Probably not. Let's just sit in. Does it start? Nope. But you know what? It turns over. It turns over. Which is more than that Mercedes did. Let's just see if we can not just run if it'll run the compression test. No, okay. There's bits missing. Okay, then I'm not going to do any more on it right now. I'm going to close the hood, and then I'm going to leave that for another video. That should be quite fun. A shame we can't spray it. Maybe I can put it in the parking if I still have enough cash left after I've restored it. That's the thing right now. I can't really afford to save cars because we have a parking garage here, over here. You can go to parking. I don't have any cars in there right now. We have 12 slots, and I think if you want an additional 12 slots, it's about 25 grand to buy the additional parking level. But you can visit it and you can store your cars there. You know, projects that you want to start at some point, or your finished cars. You know, maybe you want to wait with a car because you can't spray it yet, or whatever, that kind of good stuff. But right now I don't really have the budget to keep a car in storage. Yeah, of course I could shove this one in right now and leave it there, and then go and find another car, do some more customer jobs to get some more cash in the bank. But yeah, I'm a little impatient when it comes to things like that. Anyway, that is pretty much what I wanted to talk to you about today. Going through the resale and the restoration. I didn't go through the whole restoration with you guys. I kind of went through that myself. I mean, it's a little bit laborious. I mean, it's just replacing the running gear and, you know, all the engine parts. It wasn't that exciting, to be fair. And, you know, I've covered a lot of that already in the previous videos. I think what was more important and more exciting from my perspective was actually getting the damn thing running and started, which will be the same for this one. And then we're going to decide on what our value should be, what our threshold should be in terms of repair. If I do get any comments on the video, which right now there's few and far between, to be fair, put in what kind of threshold you'd like me to put it to, 50%, 40%, 60% or whatever, and I'll see if I can accommodate that. Anyway, that's the end of the video, and so once again, thank you so much for listening. You know I appreciate it, and thanks ever so much for watching, and Jack's out.